tit for tat and say, he said, she said, he said, she said. I think in the reality and the scheme of things, it's a fight that we have to have. We're both in the same generation, the same era. We're both heavyweight champions of the world. So with that being said, as I said, like, there's no fantasy contracts. It's a situation where it's reality. Like, I don't like coming to a stage in my career when I'm just talking about what I'm worth and negotiations and what we're bringing to the table.
No, is the fight is signed by both fighters. So both fighters. I mean, Fury's already said he signed it. We've now signed our end as well. So the fight is done. The location of that will be down to Turki Al-Sheikh. You know, I think the one thing I'll say about Turki Al-Sheikh is he's a mad boxing fan. And he knows that fight in the UK is historic. So I think he wants to give British fight fans something they'll remember forever. However, he's also the one...
And while I'm on a rant, I may as well call out one more person. A big useless dosser. Not a real fighting man. A hype job. Body build. CrossFit. Big, ugly shithouse. That's Anthony Joshua. AJ, if you're out there...
Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi Arabian minister, put out a teasing tweet or X from his own account that, there you go, British fight fans, the fight is finally signed. And he wasn't on about Kristian Prenga. He was on about Fury versus AJ. I expect AJ to get the job done with alacrity, with speed against Prenga, and then it's all roads lead to Fury versus Joshua in November.
Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury share live moments and directly address each other as tensions rise around their potential mega fight. Joshua warns that this is a true heavyweight collision between two champions of the same era, making it clear he is confident in his legacy, achievements, and ability to handle pressure when it matters most.
Years in, I've been professional 5 years. I've had 7 world title defenses. I was a world champion by the time in my 16th fight. Then you've got these guys I'm dealing with that have been professional 10 years. So when you're talking about who's who and what we've achieved, when you compare, and that's what I'm saying, I only talk from a place of stats and facts. I know I'm the one. And I know I'm going to be here long when them guys...
Eddie Hearn confirms that both Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua have officially signed on their sides, meaning the fight is now fully agreed in principle by both camps. He explains that only the venue remains undecided, with Turki Al-Sheikh expected to play a major role in selecting the location. Hearn adds that the UK remains the most historic and fitting stage for such a heavyweight clash, underlining how close this long-awaited mega fight is to becoming reality for British boxing fans.
We signed a contract to fight wherever we're told the fight is. Obviously, I think everybody wants the fight to take place in the UK, but we'll see what transpires. Oh, it'd be unbelievable. I mean, you know, the fight's going to be mega, and to do it in the UK would be really special.
Tyson Fury is turning up the intensity with direct verbal attacks aimed at Anthony Joshua, clearly attempting to unsettle him before they even step into the ring. The approach comes across as mental warfare, with Fury trying to chip away at Joshua's confidence and assert psychological dominance as much as physical superiority. It adds another layer of tension to an already high-stakes build-up between two heavyweight champions.
Let's make this fight happen, you big dosser. You big shithouse bum dosser. And I'm going to smash your face in too. And there's not one thing you can do about it. Prove me wrong, sucker. Prove me wrong.
Johnny Nelson highlights the mental battle building before the fight, noting that Tyson Fury clearly has the edge in trash talk and psychological pressure over Anthony Joshua. He explains that Joshua will need strong discipline and focus to avoid being drawn into mind games, warning that Fury's psychological tactics could have an impact even before the first punch is thrown.
Is when this fight does happen, and it's the war of words, I'm backing Tyson, because Tyson's got a proper potty mouth. Hasn't he? Tyson's got a potty mouth, so Tyson will be the one that is saying all the things you think, oh, no. And AJ, I personally think AJ needs to try and be very cool with it, because he ain't going to beat Tyson's potty mouth. Tyson will say everything and anything to try and get under his skin. And so this will be a part of, it might be a story of two halves. Tyson wins it, the war of words, and when it gets into the ring, we'll see what happens. You've got to look at what both fight.
Max Kellerman confirms that the biggest news has arrived. The heavyweight clash between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is officially signed, turning long-running speculation into reality, with Netflix involved. The fight is set to become a global boxing event, positioning it as one of the most significant heavyweight showdowns in modern history and a landmark moment for the sport.
There is major news this morning. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua have now signed on the dotted line. The fight will happen barring any upset between now and then, I'll get into that in a second, in Q4 of this year on Netflix. And this is a fight, Tyson Fury really inserted himself into this era.
Johnny Nelson highlights the mental battle before the fight, noting that Tyson Fury clearly has the edge in trash talk and psychological pressure. He explains that Anthony Joshua will need strong discipline, otherwise Fury's mind games could affect him badly even before the first punch is thrown.
Have to fight by?
The fight will go on this year, 100%. Unless Joshua gets beat, which I doubt, in his next fight.
I mean, British fight fans, Frank, would love it to be here.
Max Kellerman confirms that the biggest news has arrived. The heavyweight clash between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is officially signed, turning long-running speculation into reality, with Netflix involved. The fight is set to become a global boxing event and one of the most significant heavyweight clashes in modern history, drawing massive worldwide attention and elevating it into a landmark moment for the sport.
November doesn't mean we'll get the fight in Saudi Arabia. No, we could get that at Wembley Stadium. I don't think they've announced a site yet. I don't think they've announced a country yet. But I personally feel that we will get AJ versus Tyson Fury at Wembley Stadium. I think that's the fitting place for both
British
these
fans
guys.
want that,
and it's possibly the last time we'll see AJ and Tyson Fury in the ring together.
Johnny Nelson highlights the mental battle before the fight, noting that Tyson Fury clearly has the edge in trash talk and psychological pressure over Anthony Joshua. He warns that Joshua will need strong discipline and focus, otherwise Fury's mind games could impact him even before the first punch is thrown.
Each part of this deal, everybody is saying the same thing, that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury is signed and sealed and they will fight this year. So I've been trying to contact everybody from the relevant sides. I've managed to speak to Spencer Brown from Gold Star Promotions, who obviously represents Tyson Fury. And he says, yeah, go ahead, confirm it. So Eddie Hearn has already put on his Instagram, signed, sealed, delivered, AJ v Fury.
Max Kellerman confirms that the biggest news is now official. The heavyweight fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is signed and no longer speculation, with Netflix involved. The event is expected to become a global boxing spectacle and one of the most significant heavyweight clashes in modern history, drawing worldwide attention and massive anticipation.
This is the first poster. This probably won't be the poster, but they're saying done deal. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Q4 2026. So I like that we are officially signed. By the way, why am I trending? What did I do? That's got to be somebody else, right? Dwayne Wade, somebody else. There's no way. Why? That makes no sense. They've signed this fight. Apparently both sides have, which is good, but we don't have a venue yet. We don't have a date. I assume it'll be Wembley. I assume it'll be December or November, something around that time frame. I don't know.
Johnny Nelson highlights the mental battle before the fight, noting that Tyson Fury clearly has the edge in trash talk and psychological pressure over Anthony Joshua. He warns that Joshua will need strong discipline, otherwise Fury's mind games could affect him badly even before the first punch is thrown.
They had agreed they were going to fight this year. Obviously, we now know the meat is on the bone now. So I don't know where it'll be. That will be the next big question. As you say, Q4, as you neatly put it. I think it will have to be indoors if it's in the UK or America. There's a retractable roof in Cardiff at the Millennium Stadium, so that potentially is the venue. I cannot see them risking a fight of this magnitude outdoors at Wembley Stadium in November. I mean, imagine the kind of weather that it could potentially be. So given that obviously Turkey Al Sheikh's behind it, maybe it's a Riyadh season event in Riyadh in November, and they do crown a very big event in a large stadium there. And maybe, which is not out.
Max Kellerman confirms that the biggest news is now official. The heavyweight fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is signed, turning long-running speculation into reality, with Netflix involved. The bout is set to become a global boxing event and one of the most significant heavyweight clashes in modern history, attracting worldwide attention and massive anticipation.
Netflix, everybody. So I think they'll be looking at a slightly easier option for Anthony Joshua to, like Tyson.
Johnny Nelson highlights the mental battle before the fight, noting that Tyson Fury clearly has the edge in trash talk and psychological pressure over Anthony Joshua. He warns that Joshua will need strong discipline, otherwise Fury's mind games could affect him badly even before the first punch is thrown.
Plan was always Fury this year. That plan looks like it's still going to be kept to. All that changes is type of opponent. Now, is this guy, Kristian Prenga, better than Rico Verhoeven? I mean, he's been boxing longer than Rico, I'd like to think.
Max Kellerman confirms the biggest news is now official. The heavyweight clash between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is signed, turning long-running speculation into reality, with Netflix involved. The fight is set to become a global spectacle and one of the most significant heavyweight showdowns in modern boxing history, drawing massive worldwide attention and anticipation.
Joshua, that's going to be the super fight of the era. You know, what wound up happening is Tyson Fury simply proved he was the best fighter of the era. And now, he's also obviously a Brit, Anthony Joshua, they're both still there. They create the biggest fight, at least the biggest event in British boxing history. And I think there is a sense that while the event will be the biggest in the history of British boxing, that Tyson Fury is closer to the peak of his powers than AJ, and even that the best version of AJ was not as good as
Johnny Nelson highlights the mental battle before the fight, pointing out that Tyson Fury clearly holds the edge in trash talk and psychological pressure over Anthony Joshua. He stresses that Joshua will need strong discipline and focus, warning that Fury's mind games could impact him badly even before the first punch is thrown.
We still want to see it now because it's AJ Tyson Fury. It's past his sell-by date, but it's still a big fight. These two should just fucking get on with it, get in there and get this fight made. And all this pre-fight warm-up bullshit is totally unnecessary. It's going to kill it. Anyway, let's see what transpires with the AJ Fury fight. I feel that if these two don't fight each other next, if AJ has a warm-up fight, he could, even if he's fighting someone who's a knockover, he might get injured, he might hurt his elbow, he might jar his shoulder or twist his neck, and he's going to need 2-3 months out. Then he's going to need another 3 months training camp. This fight gets further and further away from happening. This fight needs to happen.
Max Kellerman confirms the biggest news is now official. The heavyweight clash between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua has been signed, turning long-standing speculation into reality, with Netflix involved. The fight is set to become a global boxing spectacle and one of the most significant heavyweight showdowns in modern history, drawing massive worldwide attention and anticipation.